Good afternoon, everybody. Mark Sussman from Willamette Week. Thrilled to be here with Chad Kuske. Chad, are you a Portlander? I know you live in Oregon. Where do you live?
Yeah, I live Portland, Southwest Portland.
Great. And we're here to talk about Measure 109, but in order to do so, we need to talk a little bit about you and your backstory. You are a veteran. Thank you for your service. You served in the Navy, is that correct?
Yes, I was in the Navy 18 and a half years.
Okay. How old are you, if I may ask?
39.
And so you served 18 years, and so were you in Afghanistan?
I was basically all over the globe, everywhere except for Europe. I never got to do any of the, typical places that most people want to go, but I got to go everywhere else: Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, Asia, South America, Central America.
Well, so tell us briefly, what were you struggling with? Were you having some experiences as SEAL that you were having a tough time reconciling, or?
So, I mean, obviously I can only speak to my own personal experience, and a lot of what I'll say is because I'm not a doctor by any, not even close. So a lot of this will be opinion, but I think it presents a little bit differently in SEALs and other special operations personnel, guys who the people that get into those jobs to begin with we're already pretty different, and that's why we get attracted to jobs like that. So because of that sort of natural makeup, I think some of these things take a little bit of a different face with us, but I was angry all the time, and all of this I've only really kind of been able to realize and accept since doing psilocybin therapy. Because prior to that, I was not even aware of any of this or capable of seeing it. But but now I'm aware of it. I was angry all the time. I was stuck in my own head. I was only concerned with I guess myself, just totally self-involved and not really knowing why I was angry, or I was definitely depressed. I was dealing with alcohol and substance use, trying to just feel something or cope or deal with life or whatever the case may be. And a lot of that comes from just being under massive quantities of stress, which that's why it's like we thrived on it, and that stress is what fed us, and that adrenaline and adventure and excitement, and we can handle it supremely well, which is what makes us good at that job. But over 2 decades or close to 2 decades of doing that, it changes your physiological makeup, it not just the mind, but even your body and how you respond to things.
So Chad, when was it that you first started using psilocybin, and how did that come about?
So around the time I retired from the Navy, which was March 2017, around that same time I learned about how they were being used to help treat a wide range of issues, a lot of which I was experiencing. And so I spent about 2 years kind of optimistically hoping that I would, somehow discover or find some place where I could go and undergo psilocybin therapy. And then just by luck, after about 2 years, so in kind of the spring of 2019, a former teammate of mine came through Portland to visit me, and he was going the following month to a psilocybin therapy group that was specifically for veterans, and so I got linked up with it by him.
and you started undergoing treatment. I mean, was it illegal? Probably.
I mean, I guess if you want to, I guess the simple answer would be yes. It was very, very illegal.
Don't worry, I'm not here to make a citizen's arrest.
No, no, I know, and it's, I'm laughing just because I find it so comical that, psilocybin is, if I'm not mistaken, a Schedule I substance, as opposed to cocaine and heroin, which are Schedule IIs, and that's just one of the most ludicrous statements that I can, or things. But yeah, essentially, it's all underground.
I've got a series of sort of stupid questions to ask you, and feel free to tell me you're not going to dignify my question with an answer. But how is it that psilocybin makes you feel, and how is it different? What is it doing for you? Is it making you less anxious, less depressed? Is it?
So again, like, one thing that's phenomenal about these treatments is that it's not something that you have to take every day. It's not something you have to follow any type of regimen. You go to one therapy session, and the results can last a lifetime. That can, for a lot of people, one session could be enough. Most people wouldn't go back more than like once a year. So again, I think I'm a little bit outside the box on that, but so you go into these a session, which is gonna, the duration will vary person to person, but let's say somewhere between 4 to 8 hours, and it's all internal. So it's not like the misinformation of people going out to music festivals or a lot of the stuff. And hey, a lot of people can do that and have a good experience, but a lot of the people that really need the most healing from these medicines, that's probably not a good idea, right? So it's important to be able to go into a safe, secure setting with people to help you. Every time I've done it, it's with a mask over the eyes, and usually the music playing, and so you're going internal. You're not running around and having like a wild, it's not a party,
right?
It can at times be. And it's at least in my experience, it's difficult. It's always difficult. Even when it's beautiful, it's difficult. It's not you're healing, and you are learning about yourself, and you're learning about what actually is real, whether it's from your past or your present, and it just, these medicines like psilocybin, they don't give you what you want, they give you what you need. And to make a statement like that to someone who hasn't experienced it might sound fantastical, but it really is. It really is the truth. And so so after my first experience, immediately following it, I felt like a rucksack that I'd been carrying for the last 30 years of my life on my back, and I'd just been putting rock after rock in that rucksack. I came out of the session, and that it was gone. I physically felt so much lighter, and so much more at ease. So that's where that statement of like, you're doing a lifetime of psychotherapy in one session, because you're able to process all these things. I don't understand the mechanism. I don't know if anyone does. I only can tell you from personal experience that it absolutely works.
Chad, I was connected to you by the campaign, which I gather you've agreed to be a public spokesperson for, because of your teaching background and because you're such a supporter. I may be the first reporter that you've spoken to, but I can promise you I will not be the last. After Labor Day, the campaign season fires up. And I'm just wondering how comfortable you feel about, a private person who's had your share of trauma, who's going to be thrust into the public limelight and to champion this cause. Are you comfortable in this role?
No, probably not. But I'm willing to do it. I'm not, more so not even just willing. I'm enthusiastic to do it because this is something that like I can't like words are not capable of truly describing how profound these experiences are and how much they help. And you know, I try to avoid being like a super melodramatic person, but really, like, I was going the wrong direction, and that direction ends in suffering, pain, misery, jail, death, and I was doing it all from the belief in my head that something I was gonna, like, something that I was doing was gonna change how I felt. And all I was doing was continuing to torment myself and everyone around me. And one session of psilocybin completely turned that around and showed me the other. It's like I'm still healing, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but I know I'm on the right path now, and so I'm so grateful that I found these plant medicine, psilocybin, and a program that it is well administered, right, where it was safe and I could trust the people and they cared about me, and it's all underground right now. So I just, was lucky and fortunate, and I really believe that everyone should have access. Everyone that it's not right for everyone necessarily, but for everyone who it is appropriate for, that wants to heal from whatever they're suffering from, I 100% believe that they should have access to it, because it works like nothing else that I ever tried. I mean, it really, really works.